Hi everyone, welcome to Cache Walks.
This cache walk's about the mountain behind us, Mount Tarawera, and its eruption.
When it erupted, it buried a village, and there are some really good geocaches around here too. Come and have a look with us.
We left Rotorua for the 20-minute drive through the countryside to the buried village of Tarawera.
In the 19th century, the village was a staging post for tourists visiting the world-famous pink and white terraces.
We parked our car and headed into the visitors centre.
Okay, welcome to the buried village. This is our guide map. The buried village is about the eruption of Mount Tarawera in 1886. Outside you walk through the excavations. In this area you see the remains of the whares and European sites, and you can see the extent of the mud and ash that covered the village after the eruption. You carry on along a stream, and from here down to a beautiful waterfall which is 10 minutes through bush. That's the only steeper part of the path. When you come up here and turn left, there is a lookout where you get a view down the valley towards Lake Tarawera, and then you come out this way. So it's 1 kilometer in distance, and most people spend an hour to an hour and a half.
Then it was on into the wonderful museum. Here we found a dugout canoe used to ferry tourists to the pink and white terraces. These wonders of the world were destroyed by the eruption. We looked at the many artefacts covered in volcanic ash and mud that had been recovered from the site and enjoyed an audio-visual presentation.
We are under heavy falls from volcanoes. Everybody out! Up your lights! Coming.
11 days before the eruption, a phantom canoe was seen on Lake Tarawera by a number of eyewitnesses travelling to see the pink and white terraces. Then we headed on out to see the outdoor displays. Take a long time to sharpen your knives like this. Nice old hand pump. Each doorway featured villagers here during the eruption. Helen Spencer was a missionary from Illinois. Then we came to Taupaya Hinarangi, known as Guide Sophia. Then it was on to see what remains of the village. The next stop was the location of the village blacksmith's home and workshop.
But you can still see the ash and the mud from the volcano.
We came to the location of the whare of Rotorua, who predicted the eruption. He was trapped inside for 4 days before being rescued. During the eruption, a line of fence posts were covered in mineral-rich ash and mud. The posts sprouted and grew, forming a line of trees here. There are lots of places to see the thick layer of ash and mud that fell during the eruption. This European-styled home was destroyed by ash and mud. You can still see its chimney across the road amongst the trees. Here the store owner woke to the sound of stock falling from the shelves and thought he was being burgled. He used an upside-down chair to protect his head as he ran for safety.
The next location is the Rotorua Hotel, owned by Joseph McRae. Here people stayed before their journey to the pink and white terraces. Hotel guests were woken by rattling windows and sliding furniture. McRae had just stocked the cellar and kitchen. Attempts to salvage the goods failed, and the insurance company refused to pay out as it was a natural disaster. McRae was made bankrupt. Here at the hotel's fireplace, it's interesting to see the hotel's floor plan and see where we are standing. Rawiri was trapped here for 30 hours before he managed to dig his way out.
People in the forays like this one had to run through the darkness to more substantial buildings like the two hotels and meeting house. They had to shout to each other to be heard over the volcano. We moved on to the location of Hinamihi, the tribal meeting house of the Tuarangi people of Tarawera. 45 people sheltered here during the eruption. Power shells are usually used in the eyes of Maori carving, but Hinamihi was often referred to as the house with the golden eyes, as gold sovereigns took the place of power shells. After the eruption, the meeting house was purchased by Governor-General the 4th Earl of Onslow and taken to Clandon Park, his family home in England, where it has been for well over 100 years. Arrangements are being made to see the carvings return to New Zealand. I remember the storehouse here, with its carvings in stone, from visits when I was a child. It was one of the first excavation sites here in the village. This carronade was found in the 1930s in a stream at the bottom of the waterfall. It is thought to have been used for defence by local Maori during times of unrest.
Here you can take the path down to a beautiful waterfall. Warning signs say it's a steep path down and a reasonable level of fitness is needed here. We crossed the bridge, then headed down to the big waterfall.
Oh, it's pretty steep.
We made it safely down. Then it was back up to the visitors centre and on to find the geocaches nearby related to the Tarawera Eruption. We pulled over to complete an earth cache here. You get the information off the plaques and from the road cutting across the road. You can see Mount Tarawera across the lake in the distance. Okay, a different colour may be seen near the surface. What colour is it, and where did it come from? Here we spotted an interesting plaque which turned out to be a time capsule related to the eruption. Then it was on down to Lake Tarawera for a traditional hide. We detoured a little as we met Mr. Nichols having fun trying out his new radio-controlled speedboat.
Gotta have the tape. That's 11.1 volt, closer to our 12 volt in the car battery.
Okay, it's over there. Let's go and see.
The cache is hidden near a set of Maori rock paintings featuring Maori canoes that were buried by ash in the 1886 eruption of Mount Tarawera. The paintings have been protected by a grill and a shelter. The cache page says the rock paintings were submerged by Lake Tarawera as a result of the eruption. When the lake receded in 1904, the paintings in red ochre were partially uncovered, but the bulk of them had been covered by volcanic ash and silt deposited by the lake over the years. There is no sign at the start of the track, so without the geocache, we would not have known they were here. We went looking for the cache, but unfortunately it did not find for us.
Eventually we headed on to another bay with a geocache. It was a nice walk up for an amazing view out over the lake to Mount Tarawera. We gave this cache a favourite point for its size and location. There's a cliff nearby, so if you have children with you, be very, very careful. Found it. This little box there. Skull ring. It's good. It's cute. Little doll. A few little bits and pieces. Smurf. I know the Smurf. Look at that. I quite like them. They're little squishy things that feel real. Okay. We'll put our new path tag in of the lighthouse and sign the log. Well, that brings us to the end of our cache walk. I hope you enjoyed the information about the Tarawera eruption and the buried village.
And the lovely geocaches.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to go geocaching.